So it was probably, 10th grade. I moved to a new school and I met some guys, who just weren't on the right path, and I started, hanging out with them because they lived close to me. And so it's like, I rode the same bus with them. I'm like, well, I might as well hang out with them on my free time. So we were hanging out, playing basketball. One thing led to another, and, we started smoking weed. It kind of just escalated from there to, we got a little bit older and started experimenting with other drugs and stuff. And from there, it was a spiral downhill. The first time I went to jail, when I stole some money from my mom, it's just, I had this realization like, man, I told myself I would never go to jail. Like, you see it on TV and it's, it feels like it's a different world. But when it collides with your world, it's something that it's eye-opening. I was sitting in jail, the jail cell, and they would open it every morning, and it would be like 6 o'clock before the trays came in, and there was two old men who would always go down and do devotions early in the morning, and they would just pray and read Bible scriptures. They would take turns reading chapters of the Bible. I'd lay there and listen to God. I guess He was speaking to me through these men, and I wasn't listening to it at the time until I got to A Better Way, and I realized, man, God's everywhere and He's fully in control. He's omnipotent, omnipresent. So just knowing that God was working in my life before I even realized. When I first got here, I was coming to, just to get out of trouble, and I was here for those same reasons for about 12 months or 10 months. I realized that, I'm just here to beat a case. I'm not here to, change my life. But then when reality sets in and realizing that if I don't change my life now, what it's going to be like when I'm 40 or 50 years old in another rehab, in another program. It wasn't until I was really far along into the program, about a year or so, that I really started communicating with God and telling Him my wants and my needs, and realizing that He has a will for my life, and I just need to be able to listen and stay still long enough to understand what that is. Well, about 11, 12 months in, they told me I was going to have to restart the program or leave, and I was mandated at the time, so I was like, I don't have a choice, so I'm doing this 18 months again. And I was fully committed, and that's when the devotions and my spiritual relationship with God got more in depth. It took me a while to realize that it's not just about reading a book. It's more like a relationship. It's not just words on a page. I grew up in a home where anger was readily expressed. It wasn't something that was hidden. They didn't bottle it up. They let it fly. I remember punching things and breaking my hand and, walking off, not expressing how I was feeling. But now I've gotten to the point where I can freely express my anger in a calm and collective way, so that my point gets across and I hear your side of the story as well. Every night I would go out and just somehow try to find some mind-altering substance, whether it was weed, alcohol, or even harder drugs than that. So they've helped me realize that life is more than just partying and having fun with your friends. I gained back my life since I came here. Before, it was like I wasn't even living, so now that I'm clear-minded and searching out the will of God for my life, it's something that it's just, I can't explain how it makes me feel. I'm looking forward to starting my life again, getting a car, buying my own things, being able to provide for myself, being able to provide for my little brother, give him things, repay my family. That's what I'm most looking forward to, is being able to repay the things that I've stolen and taken away from my family. I will never forget going to Florida and getting baptized by Brother John and being there with the boys. It's just something that it was life-changing. Yeah, so I think I was like one of the last ones to go. to get baptized, and it was just seeing these guys come out and throw their hands up in the air. It was awesome to see, I'm like, well, here I'm next. And then so I get out there, and the water was so rough, so it seemed like every time he was trying to say something, water was cold, so I was flinching, and I probably got baptized 3 times, I feel like, so it was good because we were all up there laughing, having a good time. And then when you came up out of that water and put your hands in the air, just knowing that it's my chance to start over, all my sins are gone. I'm a new man, new creation in Christ. It just was overwhelmingly, words just can't explain how it felt. Yeah.